our next thing, we just want to save the running configuration. We just do a copy running config to startup config, just like you would on a regular router. And then we want to do a file save to save our project, and then you'll see there that its project has been saved. So now that that's been done, we want to go to router 1 and we want to right click on it and go to start, and what we'll see is our CPU utilization has jumped up again. So we want to right click on it and console into this router now, router 1, and what we're going to see here is it's going to just take a minute here for us to get in. So just relax and just make sure that everything's okay. Just don't worry about it. So we have a good idle PC value that I already set up before we got into this. So again, if you need to set the idle PC value, you just right click on the router. Again, the dark blue indicates that you only have one highlighted. But see, when I have both of them highlighted, they're both dark blue. So make sure you only have one highlighted, and it'll be as dark blue. It'll show up. So again, we want to select. We're going to redo the idle PC value on router 1. It's going to ask us. There's already one applied. Do we want to override it and do a new one? We're going to do yes. So we're not going to do that though, because we already set it. So anyway, if you need to calculate it again, remember it's the one with the best asterisk. That's the idle PC value you want to choose. Okay, so again, here we are. So we're going to say no here. We're going to select no. We don't want to go under initial configuration. What you're going to see here is all the interfaces are going to load up just like you were on a regular router here. So the first thing I want to do here is go under global configuration mode and then do line console 0 and set the mode to no exec timeout. Again, that's going to allow your router not to jump the CPU utilization due to inactivity on the console interface. Okay, so we go ahead and start. We went ahead and saved that. So we're going to change the router name here. We're going to go into global configuration mode. We'll do host name R1. Again, that's a very simple command to change your router's name. And now we see here that it's changed to R1. We're going to go ahead and save our configuration with copy running config to startup config. So we're going to go under router 0 here and do the same thing. We'll go into global config, do a host name R0. Then we're going to save our configuration. And then save it also within the program. So now when you go back into your program, you should have all those changes that we made saved. So now that we have the host name set on the routers, the next thing that we want to do is to come in here and do a little design of our network topology here. We can add stuff. We can add text into GNS3 by clicking the add a note, what looks like a notepad, and we just click wherever we want to put it, and then we can write here. So that's going to be our subnet that we're going to use for this example here. It's going to be 192.168.1.0, which is /30. Again, a point-to-point connection. That's just Cisco best practice. So we have two usable IPs here. We have the .1 and the .2. Again, the .0 is the network address, and the .3 is the broadcast address. And we all know this from subnetting. Again, that's the best subnet mask for the point-to-point configuration. because it's going to allow us to save a lot of IPs within that Class C range. So again, router 0 is going to be the .1, and the router 1 is going to be the .2. So again, this is a Class C. We're using a /30 within this Class C to save our IP addresses. So now let's go ahead and save our configuration. Let's go under, actually next thing we want to do under router 0 is I will show you how to use the description command under the interface. Again, we're going to go under interface serial 00, and we will do the description command. What this allows us to do is set the description for the interface. So description, we'll just put here connection to R1, and then now if I do a show interface description, our show interface serial 00, we see here now that we have a description that says connection to R1. Also, if we do a show interface description, you see it under description there too, connection to R1. So it just allows us to know what interfaces are connected to what devices. Just a good command here to do. So under router 1, if we go under interface serial 00, we know that both the serial 00 interfaces on both routers are connected to each other. So we're going to put on R1, under description of the interface serial 00, we're going to put connection to R0. We'll go ahead and put end, and then do a show interface serial 00, and then you can see here now the description shows up, connection to R0. If I do a show interface description, you can see here that the description now shows up. So again, description command is very good, helps you know what interfaces are going to what devices. You see this a lot in real world network